Hello, everyone. I am Kira Schaefer with As You Wish Publishing, and we're going to speak today about how to avoid those common self publishing mistakes that a lot of new authors make. So let's explore today. Today, we're diving into some common self publishing pitfalls that can impact your book's success. Self publishing offers amazing opportunities, more than you may even realize, especially for coaches and wellness professionals, and that help you reach and connect with your audience. But there's some avoidable mistakes that often stand in the way. So we're going to go over them and discuss them. And we're also going to talk about how to avoid those pitfalls. Okay, we're going to go through this and you're going to find the answers to these 4 things by the end of our conversation here. Okay, the breakdown. Even with the best intentions, many self published authors encounter common challenges that hurt their book's impact and sales. Often it's simply a lack of guidance through the publishing process, which of course is very avoidable if you work with As You Wish Publishing. But we're going to break down these frequent mistakes and show you how to ensure your hard work leads to a book that resonates, connects, and makes a lasting impact. Okay, here's number 1. Lack of market research. This is probably one of the biggest things that I see people make when we think about these mistakes or missteps. Often people just write because they want to, and that's what feels good to them. But I'll invite you to understand that if that is the case, and you're doing it and it's just for fun and it's just something that's inspiring and it's easy for you, know that things that might be interesting to you may not be interesting to others. And that doesn't mean anything bad at all. It just means that to a certain extent, you may not have the audience that's big enough to increase your book sales or have a big launch straight out of the gate. Okay, so this is especially important for coaches and wellness professionals whose audience look for targeted, specific insights. That market research does not have to be complex. It's about understanding what your audience needs most for you and from you. So this is something that I think is so interesting. Like I said, when we look at that lack of market research, a simple poll, simple things, finding out what it is that you love to do, but also coincides with what people need. Here we go. We're just going to solve this problem straight out of the gate. Identify your audience needs. Look at similar books and reader reviews to understand what your audience values. I also recommend going through some of your favorite books and looking at the chapter headings and titles so that you can replicate some of that in what you do, the things that really resonate with you and how you help people. Be sure to survey your audience, ask questions, or run polls online to online groups and to gather insights. You can also do emails. You can do all kinds of things. Hey, I'm thinking of writing a book. What do you find is the most valuable takeaway that you have received from our sessions together? It doesn't matter if you're asking one person or 1,000 people. It's okay to just get a little bit more input and insight. Be sure to align your content to the audience. Use this feedback to make your book relevant and engaging. Okay, here's another one that people think, oh, it's fine. It's no big deal. Skipping that pro editing is a big pitfall. It's something that people just do not understand that they need. And it is something that I've seen a lot of self-publishers out there say, if I could go back into time, I would have gotten professional copy editing done. Now, whether it's developmental copy editing, which is a bigger ordeal and very, very costly, or whether it's proofreading copy editing on a lighter scale, it's still important to have somebody else's eyes on your content. A well-edited book not only enhances readability, but also reflects your professionalism. Skipping this step can lead to easily avoidable issues from grammar mistakes to confusing sentence structures that can disengage your readers. Here's how we're solving it. Get that budget for your editing. Plan to invest in editing for quality and readability. Now, I know that people have friends who will read their book for them and maybe even do it for free. But I highly, highly recommend that you use someone who is a professional or who does this work, because a friend is great, but they may not always be 100% honest with you, or they may be brutally honest with you and take every single edit. So I think getting away from the friend zone might be a good idea. Use professional editors, find an editor skilled for genre. You can go out to places like Upwork, Fiverr, things like that to find some freelance editors if you like. Now, of course, with As You Wish Publishing, we have a professional copy editor in house who, if you wanted to build on or bring in another enhancement, you could add copy editing to your package, which is extremely affordable and, as a matter of fact, half price from a la carte options when you buy a package. So it's kind of a really cool deal, and it's something that's really helpful. Refine your drafts, work through feedback to improve clarity, and polish your work. Also, I recommend a full out loud read through of your book where you are actually saying the words that are in your book so that you hear it, because sometimes we don't hear if there are a read, if there is a mistake, we'll go right over words. But when we're reading it out loud, we'll hear that there's something that's off. Poor marketing strategy. This is something that I feel that sometimes authors, at the end of the day, they're fatigued and they have done all the work with their book, and they have really put it out there and really put themselves into the work, but they haven't necessarily put it out there to the people yet. So this is something we really need to take a look at. Many self-published authors put so much energy into their writing, they overlook marketing. But a great book is only valuable if it reaches its audience. A strong marketing strategy ensures that the right readers find and engage with your book, which is huge, right? So we want to go ahead and solve this problem right now. Poor marketing strategy solved. First of all, it is a must. Build a launch team. Gather people who can help promote your book. Now, they could be people who you work with, they could be your friends, they could be your family, they could be your clients. They could be people that you know from your networking groups or other business groups. They're so incredibly valuable and important to the process of getting your book out there. Engage early. Share your updates, sneak peeks, and content related to your book on social media. I highly recommend putting together a Facebook group that will be dedicated to just your launch team. And then you can flip it over and turn it into a launch group if you wanted to, or create a whole other group where your friends, your family, your coworkers, your clients can bring people to that new launch group where you've got everybody in there supporting your book. Run promotions, give giveaways or discounts for your launch. And I recommend that you do a launch uh, for a finite amount of time so that you have it for maybe 3 days or 5 days or something like that, where you're helping people drive them to your book. You may want to do a promotion on KDP, whether it's a free version or 99-cent version, and have your team go there, download the book during that time frame that you've decided, and then have them leave their reviews. It's a really terrific way to get and drive traffic to your book. Add branding consistency to your book strategy as well. So make sure that you have some consistent look, consistent feel, consistent description, consistent clarity about what your book is and what it's about and the benefits that it's going to bring to your audience. This is the other pitfall. This is the last one. So, at least for today, but today, ignoring reader engagement opportunities. Once your book is published, you have a fantastic opportunity to build a community of engaged readers. Ignoring this means missing out on turning readers into followers, clients or advocates for your work. Now, I've done another video where we talk about your first book is not your last book, it is the jumping off point. And so we want to think about that strategy of knowing this is just the beginning. How are we continuing our conversation? How are we getting in front of our readers who will turn into clients or advocates or followers? Because they're trying to find a solution to their problem and you have the answer. And it is vitally important that you offer that answer to them as often as you can. Here are ways we're going to solve this. Include a call to action and invite your readers to connect with you on social media or join your email list. This can be inside of your book. It can also be literally anywhere else that you want in your strategy as well. But having a call to action within your book printed there, either on your ebook or your print book, can be very helpful to bringing people back to your solution. Offer exclusive content and provide added value like a downloadable guide or resource. This can be very cool when you're wanting people to come back and maybe become a subscriber on your YouTube channel or on your website. So bring people back to your solution continually. Respond to reader feedback, engage with readers to build loyalty and trust. It's so funny. Sometimes I have people every once in a while, they'll say something like, and this is how my mind needs it. They'll say something like, "Oh, I see a mistake here," and I'll say, only one mistake," and it's a fun moment because that kind of makes them giggle because maybe they were afraid that they were overstepping, or it makes me giggle because I know that we're just human beings and we are learning and growing and developing together. So when you get feedback, know that that's not a negative thing. It's a really good thing. And thank them for that opportunity to either shift something or get yourself a little bit more clarity on what you want to do next. In summary, avoiding these common pitfalls sets you up for self publishing success. Absolutely. Remember, understanding your audience, investing in quality editing, planning a marketing strategy, ensuring consistent branding, and engaging with readers are all essential steps. All right, I think it's time. Isn't it time? I think it's time to schedule a coffee chat with me and let's discuss your book and let's just make sure that where you're headed with it is moving in the right direction for you and what your goal is for the book that you're creating. I really want to help you on this journey. This is my QR code that's going to take you to my calendar. Please find a time and day that works for you. I'd love to connect with you and learn more about you. These are the mistakes you are going to avoid now that you and I have talked about them. You are going to avoid that lack of market research. You are not going to skip that professional editing. You are going to get that book professionally edited. You are going to have a clear marketing strategy, and you're not going to ignore your readers, ignore those engagement opportunities. Get out there and put your book out there, put yourself out there. It's okay, it's safe. I know it can be scary at first, but it doesn't have to be. And so just doing it a few times, you will notice that it becomes easier and more fun. Thank you so much for listening. Please join me out at asyouwishpublishing.com. I'd love to connect with you more. And as far as this video is concerned, please comment, like, and share. It really helps the channel out to help people get more clarity on their self-publishing needs and move forward with sharing their voice with the world. Thank you very much.